today, Rinpoche explained that the Madhyamika Prasangika view holds that all things carry no form of intrinsic existence whatsoever, neither conventionally nor ultimately. Any view that holds that there is even the minute form of intrinsic existence is not the final view of the Buddha and is not correct, valid cognition related to the nature of reality. So welcome everyone to the Chenrezig Tibetan Buddhist Center. Once again, we're looking at Lama Tsongkhapa's great treatise on the stage of the path to enlightenment. We're in the third section of the text, which is the most difficult section of all of this text, and it's considered by all the great scholars as one of the most difficult but most important sections of any text ever written. The union of calm, abiding, and insight. They call it the Great Insight section. When you hear scholars refer to it, they refer to it as the Great Hlatong Chenmo. So just the Great Special Insight section. So right now, mostly we're Rinpoche is giving brief explanation, but primarily giving a transmission of this section. We are on 257, and so when we look at all of Lord Buddha's teachings and we try to categorize them, we can see that they can fall into three major headings. And those headings are called the teachings for beings of three capacities. So the teachings of Lord Buddha are called the pronouncements of Lord Buddha, the Kangjur. And the authentic Indian commentaries are commentaries that were given by the Nalanda masters and so forth directly about the pronouncements of Lord Buddha. So if we were to look at all of the texts, we have 100 of Lord Buddha's texts behind me. There were pronouncements of Lord Buddha, direct speech, and then there's 213 authentic Indian commentaries, so making for a total of 313 texts. So we can see that there's a large amount of information, but we can categorize every bit of information in all of those texts into three. And they're called the teachings for beings of three capacities. So the first category are teachings for beings of small capacity, or they are called the teachings shared in common with beings of small capacity. These are teachings for practitioners who wish to achieve higher realm rebirth in their next lives. These practices include going for refuge to the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, engaging in ethical behavior that abandons the 10 non-virtuous activities, and acknowledging negativity when one engages in it. Independent upon those practices, he or she will achieve higher realm rebirth. The next category are teachings shared in common with beings of medium capacity. These are for practitioners who wish to achieve their own individual nirvana, individual liberation. And by practicing the three highest higher trainings of ethics, concentration, and wisdom, this practitioner is able to achieve nirvana for him or herself. Although they are in nirvana, they haven't completed the stages in order to become Buddhas. They are in nirvana, but they still have the imprints of the afflictions, and those are removed by practicing the teachings for beings of great capacity. This practitioner engages in all of the teachings that are in common, small and medium, and then couples that with the generation of bodhicitta, and then the engagement of the six perfections, the actual physical engagement of those. And in dependence upon those practices, this practitioner is able to remove those imprints, the obstructions to omniscience, and achieve complete Buddhahood. So this is how all of the teachings are broken down into three major categories, and those categories depend, and the practices depend upon what the practitioner wishes for his or her outcome. So that's how he or she would decide on what set of teachings to engage in, because each of those produce specific results. Digson.
Tadala ngomolo jijung ki sheye gobanes ke de shesu de gonson la so be samaje rang ke chenji je trobi den ga ya maruba son wander konso nzeba yino rangi chetar tatar shesu ne ngashebi tun dubayin la kanji chujin nyedun ju mi kunzuba kala yu jeba ne kunzubi mela soba ne kunzubi mela soba chujin meba tenpa mi je ngasheba tara rangi tenyi je choba ngansung la soba ngansung matruyu chobe zu chujin do tanyen do matru jebe teno teishir shesu ji tene rangi ngoyo chobe rajin meba mawa tang ngaba mawa nyi la ne zu jeje chujin do jabi tsema chobe ngansung tuna do matru Nigala Tunado Tobe Chujan Ruji Sama Meba Ranju Taji Shigula Drober Shayu Shujun Jado Meba Majibi Tuno Kede Tanyan Doyan rangi tenyi ji chubi rangi mebi shula teta yinme jang ngu koja na tanyen du tetara mendebe rangi ji chujin la soba yuebi shir jun yueme do nyane tanyen do dendayu rangi yoba mate bane ngaya shejin dadung chebe lenten riba maino niba pengoba mate mandawa ne sisele pulayang dawa yoba maino tene drai shedan madaba nije she chebar joba Mendeba Nigala Yuna Tejido Megi Shene Tomba Ni Dang Tomba Ni Maimba Mawa Dagi Kundu Do Ke Malang La Tun Damba Yang Madruba Yimbe Tela Pula Yang Dawayoba Maino Sheba Wo Di Tune Jun dang na ke yu den ni dang sheba dang hayu jenji sewa sheba ni ga yang me ba dra dang jula tu me tu ka yang me be madaba shidan shi yu la den jun ka yang me be me la soba me ji bi de me de tene gua dadagi medebi shedan dadana penu niga matum par sujan ruba medebi shero ona kai nyana jonju ji da sheba na ke yetenji da sheba chebar kanrungi chebado majeba da yueba ngeba ne gua nyebu kangi lula shayuela rangi ji tombar mawa tang rangi ji mutomba mawa nyi lula matru shebe truba yang mayin trubi shebe truba yang mayin tsema truba mise zuji shimejin trubi shebe druba ne shigula matru shebe druba nyeba ne hanguji tsime matru be padang palandawa yoba mayino shebe tuno matruwa ne shene tuno tangba ngansung to tsime nyaja yi me jang Jime Jandene, Nayu Rantela, Nayu Rantela Matri, Monson Samata, Shenyu Rantela, Matri, Jiba Tamanika, Shagula, Chijen Dan Taji, Chusun Drubi, Samandanawa, Temeba, Matri, Shebe Nyebe, Don Chijen do Morongo, the Rangi Seniji, Sangi Seni Jebane, Tugaba Ta, Dobatar, Dondaba, Takunani, Konala, Sheba Meje, Mobo, Ngome, Kala, Rangi, Raji, Kelembe, Rajin Hasheba, Tabu Shebe, Raji Yoba Hawa, Najine, Ngome Jeyu, Jeba Jan, Tendayu, Raji Jishayu, Matrua, Doba Yino, Tetabi Raji La Matru, Sheba Yina, Hayu Dan, Shayu La Matrua, Yin Tekuni, Dula, Matrua, and then Rangi, Loji Tsama, Tendai, Chujan La Soba, Maruba Deje, Guani Ki Jula, Midan, Zula Soba Jeyu, Tanya Tsama Meba, Deba Meno, Shuguji Juju, Wabi, Sheba, Hasheba Tabu, Neme Ji Dambe, Zula Soba Yudanto, Nebe, Nesheji Yula, Rebe Neba Mede, Tean Shido Shena, Nyogola Soba Zimba Tabo, Nyogola Soba Zimba Tabo, Zensu Son Te, Nyogola Rangi Ngui, Rangi Yoba, Deba Yoba Zimba Dan, Nyogo Rangi Ngui, Meba, Joma Tabo Yoba Zimba, Joma Tabo Yoba Zimba, Juma Tabo Yoban Zimba, Yoban Zimba Dan, Danzu Kanki Jan, Cheba to Majeba, She Yoba Tan Shedun Zimba Wo, Nyogo Tamada Su Tsudo Yoba, Dan, Zimba, Ye Menje, Desun Gan, and Desun Karon Shiki, Zensu Meba, Deba Mebe, Dada under She Mogoso, Tela, Mabu Rajim Meba Tobi, Tawa Jula, Majebe, Sejen Nana, Yudan Zimbatan, Daba Yoban Zibanika, Ni Yueje, Rankingu, Meba Juma Tabo Yoba, Zimba Manjungo, Chuna Juma Tabu, Tawa, Manye Gongi, Sejenaji, Tobe Yoba, Kanzun Tanji, Denzin to Sheba, Naba Tanji to Moronte, Hatanya Tama, Shebe, Gaudan, Rajin Yume, Ye, Che Sheyu, Kausu Mando, She Sindo, Tata Mahimba, Rangi Meba Tawa, Magoa, Gongi, Tobe, Tanya, Ganji Tanji, Denzin Hina, Jiden Be Tanya Rangawa, Hashebe, Chuju Malebe, Nambar Jabe, Dun Tanji Do, Omabe, Tata Goba Tanji, Ribi Noba Bobe, Wanshu Dan, Yume Cheba Meba Sone, Shinji Lugi, Tawa, Omi Dun Toba, Tobi, Ge Chenpo Yu Shero, Denda Yu Gone, Tomba Niji Loba Guyu, Taso, Hatubi Yagubi Gajuru Shu Mondo Sheba Nanji Tawa Nyebi Lusu Sheba Na Hama Tanji Samanzimba Chenwa Chindu Tune Chenjidu Tune Gajuru Sadaki Sendayi Nedunji Tawa Manyeba Nala Somba Oshi Nyang Somba O Nyambi Kuwa Jene Toba Tanji La Juntayu Lutuki Lutuki Chu Mando Bonwa Jayi Kembo Hashantara Mado Nango Tala Raji Meba Tayu Raji Meba Tawa Manye Kunki Kanzaki Da Yoba Tanta Ragi Chenji Trubi Yoba Ni Susur Sheba Mazite Yoba Kanyi La Kanyi Jabi Deba Tamba Tar Ragi Nguyu Trubi Yobe Choba Zibi Sharo Ti Neje Raji Meba Lao Mebe Choba Zone Raji Je Tombala Jundi Jijado Morongon She Modo Goa Ino
Yabudu they cut. Okay. All right. So again, 257. Yes, 257. We will begin, and she read to 705. Okay. On these points, Chandrakirti cites a proof text by Nagarjuna the Protector. If sensory perception and so forth, this supporting citation states that the four direct, inferential, scriptural, and analogical valid cognitions, sensory perception, and so forth, do not at all establish an object that exists by way of its own characteristic. So if we look at all of the ways that you can present a valid perception, whether it's inferential or direct, you can't find intrinsic existence anywhere when using a valid cognition to apprehend an object. The meaning of therefore since is that when both the opponents of essential or intrinsic existence and the essentialists posit visible form as the subject of a syllogism, non-mistaken perception does not establish it as appearing in common to both parties in the debate. Therefore, since there is no valid cognition attesting to a subject that is proven to appear in common for both systems, there will inevitably be a fault in any position that you try to prove to an opponent using autonomous reason. What you say is true in regard to a position that has no essential or intrinsic nature, even conventionally. However, since this is not what we do, who follow Baba Vega, assert at the conventional level the subjects in such autonomous syllogisms do exist. Therefore, the position is free from fallacy. Reply: the existence of an intrinsic nature is inadmissible conventionally. So just as a note, the middle way, the Madhyamika for Tantrika, the middle way autonomy school, does posit intrinsic existence conventionally, or true establishment conventionally. So that's what it's negating here, is the lower Madhyamika school. And Baba Vega is a holder of that view, the author of Blaze of Reasoning. The existence of such an intrinsic nature is inadmissible conventionally. Since we have already explained this above and will explain it again below, your answer is unreasonable. The example cited is inappropriate. Chandrakirti's clear word states, the example, i.e. the syllogism proving the impermanence of sound, is also inappropriate, whereas in this example, neither party wants to qualify the general sense of sound or the general sense of impermanence. Here in the case of the syllogism proving that the I is not ultimately produced, the advocates of emptiness and advocates of non-emptiness do not both accept that I, as a generality, exists only conventionally, nor do they both accept that it exists ultimately. That is why the example is inappropriate. Do not misread this passage to say that the example fails because an I that is neither true nor false does not exist, but there does exist a sound that is neither evolved from the elements nor a quality of space, as well as a sound that is neither produced nor a causal manifestation of something that already exists, and that there doesn't exist something that is impermanent in a general sense, yet neither relies on causes nor fails to rely on causes. For one, those, i.e. sound, that is neither evolved nor a quality of space, etc., are things that neither of those two parties accept, and if they were to accept such things, no one could ever demonstrate that the analogy fails. Well then, what does this passage mean? In the system of both of the parties, in the example, it is impossible to ascertain the existence of sound, unspecified as to whether it is sound that is evolved from the elements or sound that is a quality of space. But in the systems of the advocates of emptiness of intrinsic existence and the opponents of emptiness of intrinsic existence, there is no such thing as an I or a form as a generality that is established by a valid cognition that is neither a non-mistaken consciousness nor a mistaken consciousness. Its being established by a mistaken consciousness is not established for the opponent, and the Prasangika Madhyamika proponent's valid cognition does not establish it being found by a non-mistaken consciousness. Hence the analogy fails. This is the meaning of that passage. The word non-mistaken generally refers to the equipoise that directly perceives the ultimate truth. But here it must refer both to a perceptual valid cognition that is non-mistaken with respect to an intrinsically characterized appearing object and to an inferential valid cognition that is non-mistaken with respect to its intrinsically characterized conceived object. Since there are no such valid cognitions that establish the three criteria, the subject cannot be an object that is found by a non-mistaken consciousness. 29, just real quickly, that's important. So the three criteria of a correct sign. So this is how you recognize. So if you say the subject red is a color because of being suitable to be shown as hue. So the sign itself is suitable to be shown as a hue fits these three criteria. So it's a proper sign to show that it's a color. So the three criteria, the tsul sum of a correct sign in Buddhist logic, a correct reason must meet these three criteria. The presence of the reason in the subject, or its bearing on the subject, this is the minor premise of a syllogism. Of the two types of pervasion, the forward pervasion is the major premise, and the counter pervasion is its contrapositive, which corresponds to a minor premise. The forward pervasion, which corresponds to the major premise, and the reverse pervasion, which corresponds to the contrapositive of the major premise. So these are the three criteria that a correct sign have to have. So anyway, now I have to find out where I was.
To determine intrinsic character is not used. Right, 259. Here the term intrinsic character
is not used as the logicians use it, simply to mean something that performs a function. Instead, as previously explained, it refers to something's own intrinsic nature, which any functioning thing or non-functioning thing is believed to have. That is why the advocates of intrinsic nature claim that even an inference that compounds a non-thing is not non-mistaken regarding a conceived object that has such an intrinsic nature. Every consciousness that is non-mistaken with respect to its appearing objects and conceived objects, and respect to such an intrinsic nature must also be non-mistaken with respect to its appearing objects and conceived objects, and since this makes such a consciousness non-mistaken with respect to ultimate reality itself, our own system does not hold that such a valid cognition establishes the subject, etc. However, we do not deny that there are in the mind streams of both parties conventional valid cognitions that perceive things like eyes and forms. In fact, even in the mind stream of the opponent, the forms, etc., that are elicited by sensory consciousnesses that are unimpaired in the sense previously explained are ascertained simply as existing, and there is no rational fault in regard to the object of such knowledge. To explain this in greater detail, we can say that there are three ways of apprehending the existence of, for instance, a seedling. 1. Apprehending a seedling as truly existing, which means apprehending it as having an essential or intrinsic nature. 2. Apprehending it as existing in a false way, which is the apprehension that seedlings lack essential existence but exist like an illusion. And 3. Apprehending it as merely existing in general without specifying whether it is true or false. You might also apprehend the seedling as permanent or impermanent, etc. But since there is no apprehension that does not involve one of these three ways of apprehending, there is no need to explain those other ways here. Living things who have not developed within their mind streams the view that knows the absence of intrinsic nature possess the third and first modes of apprehension, that is, the apprehension of mere existence and the apprehension of true existence, but they lack the apprehension of things as like essenceless illusions. It is completely wrong to claim that before living beings find the view that phenomena are like illusions, any conception they have of something as existing is a conception of true existence. This is something that I have already explained above in the section that discusses conventional valid cognition, and in the section in which I differentiate the four: intrinsic existence, lack of intrinsic existence, existence, and non-existence. Suppose that this were not the case. That is, suppose that those who have not yet understood the view that there is no intrinsic nature did apprehend something as truly existent whenever they thought of a conventional thing. There would ensue a complete logical breakdown of the need for madhyamikas to accept conventionally the objects that are posited by the world's ordinary conventional consciousness, insofar as those consciousnesses are not affected by the previously explained circumstances that cause error. Therefore, since there would be no way to distinguish the ontological status of conventional objects from the ontological status of a putative divine creator, this erroneous view must be a great impediment into understanding the meaning of the madhyamaka. There are many who share indications of having misunderstood emptiness in this way. They initially engage in many virtuous activities that require conceptual thought, but later, when they systemize the philosophical view that they have found, they see all of their previous activities as grasping at signs and thus as binding them to cyclic existence. They reflect those virtuous activities were taught for those who have not found the definite view. Developing such an understanding, they repudiate the teaching in many ways with this misconception that regards all conceptual thought as faulty, in the sense they resemble the Chinese abbot Hashan. Before they find the view that things lack intrinsic nature, it is impossible for them to distinguish between mere existence and existence by way of intrinsic character. This is because, as indicated in the passage from Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanzas cited above, they think that anything that exists must exist essentially. As a result of this, they take everything that exists, everything that lacks intrinsic nature, to be non-existent, making it impossible for them to posit cause and effect for that which is empty of intrinsic nature. There are many who argue in this way. Detsuko. Okay. The wrong sheme.
Rang me tu ji tawa ju la je bi ju la ne yoban zin zu sun ka jong de yuan jang tawa de je ne ji si de yin ju ji ne ju ji ma nyang ba de si Dijin Manaba Tesido, Rebe, Jeba, Rebe, Nabarjene, Ragangu, Madruba, Sambice, Ragi, Uyotuba Kilambi, Tenzin, Reji, Majoa Yinji, Tela Lanjiji, Tenzin, Majoa Meno, Tena, Ragangu, Trubi Rangi, Medu, Jitawa, Jene, Manyambi Juji, Nugula Soba, Tanji Jang, Jumatabo, Yoba, Zimba, Maide, Tata Maina, Tadala, Deba Yoban Zimba, Ngonjoa, Chimesiba, Taishero, Lumen Ledenji, Jilla, Soba, Chunam, Rala, Rangang, Rangi, Tanya, Jebe, Omaba Nam, Ranjuji, Tarangi, Lola, Sheji Jebe, Jusen Yang, Tanya, Rangang, Ransen Yoba, De Yimbe, Ranjuji, Ta, Ranlola, Ju Mujune, Gaja, Shindu Chao, and la Tuba Yino, Tena, Konabi Lula, Rangang Yubi Rajin, Tayu, Wanshe Neme Najan, Tanya Do, Tayu La Matru, Tayu La Matrula, Tetabi Rajin, Rajin, Nyogo So, Yuban Zimbe, Toba, Shen La, Matrua Yinte, Tata Mayimba, Tata Treba Jena, Ngobu Mawa Nada, Nyeki Lula, Tunado Juba, Sama Kanyu, Dawatrabi, Jebatar, Ransen Tawa Taji, Ranji Mejan, Ternayu, Wanshe Najung, Ngobu Mawa La, Drunane, Chujen Na, Truba Na, Ranji, Member Tru Sembe, Ranjuji, Taji, Chishishe, Wende, Parubo, Ranla, Ngutuba, Chuba Yinji, Omabada, Nikala, Tunando, Rumoguba, Mugusu Nyana. Tene, Raya Mandu, Jin, Rebejan Mainde, Reban Mainde, Tatana, Drubi, Taju Tanji, Jendra Sando, Ju Tawayu, Jesu, Shuba, Yimbishero, Luben Shivato La Suba, Shiru Tanya Meba, Jeba Najang, Hobola Suba Na, Demban Deba, Tar Tanya Shebe, Jesu, Jebe, Tada Nayu, Wanshi Nam, Tada La, Tude, Rangi Seniji, Drubi, Zemba Yembe, Hozon La, Tune, Treba, Mahino, Mela Soba Kudo, Jubi, Tun Chujen Do, Jaba Tene, Ngonsunji, Ngonsu, Mundu Jang, Rujiji, Tsawa Tatuba Ne, Ngonsun Shila, Tuguba Ne, Trutamawa Na Jindoba Yinde, Jeba Longa Juba Tabu Yimbishir, Ti Tsawa, Rujijang, Ngonsun La Tuba Debe So, Ti Tsayu Ngonsun Ne Yana, Jenri Matru Wada, Yana, Ranri Matru Washi La, De La, Tayang Hashiba Tara, Rangi Tseniji, Trubi Tun Nala, Tawa Tar, Tawa Da Yudindo, Truguba La, Tadaki, Debe Na, Tada Ne, Tada Rangi Nguyu Trubi, Raji Mapa Mayu, Raji Mapa Mayu, Omabi Loso, Nieka, Tunado, Trube, Truba, Monson, Machoa, Meba, Tata, Tedara Monsula, Matu Jan, Landaba, Nude, Dadar, Rangi Yuba Mayu, Dumashi, Galayan, Tata, Semen Drubi, Dune, Tata Ranking, Duluji, Moshi, Udinto, Yuba, Druba Ina, Terebe, Gaba Nubi Sher, Rujiji, Sama Morongo, Ruji Sama Morongo, Kaleju.
Yeah, we'll do. Okay. Let's go. 707, so the Nipa. Just want to make sure, I just want to get the stopping point now, so just bear with me. I was trying to figure out a section of it when we were going, so let's try 707. So it's going to end there. Right there, to number 2. Okay. I'm going to just reread this section. There are many who show indications of having misunderstood emptiness in this way. They initially engage in many virtuous activities that require conceptual thought, but later, when they systemize the philosophical view they have found, they see all their previous activities are grasping at signs and thus binding them to cyclic existence. They reflect. Those virtuous activities were taught for those who have not found this definitive view. Developing such an understanding, they repudiate the teaching in many ways with this misconception with regards to all conceptual thought as faulty. In this sense, they resemble the Chinese abbot, Hashang. Therefore, they find the view that things lack intrinsic nature. Before they find the view that things lack intrinsic nature, it is impossible for them to distinguish between mere existence and existence by way of its intrinsic character. This is because, as indicated in the passage from Chandrakirti's commentary on the 400 stanzas cited above, they think that anything that exists must exist essentially. As a result of this, they take everything that lacks intrinsic nature to be non-existent, making it impossible for them to posit cause and effect for that which is empty of intrinsic nature. There are many who argue in this way. So it's stating that there are some practitioners who believe that this is the Chinese abbot's view, Hashan, that any conceptual thought is negative because conceptual thought is the opposite of the goal. So that they would believe that even engaging in virtuous activities would not necessarily be something that leads to enlightenment because those virtuous activities were conceptual. The only virtuous activity really is emptying the mind of all conceptual thought. So there are some practitioners who believe that once they find what the view of emptiness or what emptiness means out, that all of the other practices aren't worthwhile and haven't been leading them to Buddhahood and can't lead them to Buddhahood. The only thing that can is this idea of non-conceptuality. So this is the view that's being negated here. Lama Tsongkhapa is saying, no, first of all, that's not the correct view of emptiness and the correct way to meditate on it. A, and B, these other virtues are necessary in order to become enlightened. Those who have developed in their mind strings a view that knows the absence of intrinsic nature may apprehend things as existing in all three ways. When that view has been developed, and while its influence is not diminished, the conception of true existence that believes that things essentially exist is temporarily absent. This lasts as long as they are rationally analyzing something so as to determine whether it exists essentially. However, this does not mean that they do not have an innate conception of true existence. Therefore, even those who have developed the view that knows the absence of essential or intrinsic nature, and who have not let the view degrade, do not always apprehend a seedling as existing like an illusion, whenever they apprehend a seedling as existing. Why? If they did, it would lead to the absurdity that there would never again develop a manifest form of the conception of true existence with regard to those seedlings and such. There are madhyamikas, such as the Master Baba Vega, who accept that conventionally phenomena have essential or intrinsic character. The conventional existence of essential or intrinsic character is their reason for accepting autonomous reasons in their own system. Whether one posits autonomous reasons in one's own system finally depends upon what one posits as the extremely subtle object of refutation. Therefore, in their Svatantrika system, unimpaired sensory perceptions to which essential or intrinsic nature appears are conventionally non-mistaken with respect to their appearing objects. The conceptual consciousness that conceives of a subject such as a seedling as having that kind of nature is also non-mistaken with respect to its conceived object. Otherwise, if they accepted that those consciousnesses are mistaken, then what valid cognition would establish the elements of a syllogism as appearing in common for both their system and that of the essentialists? If the sensory perceptions to which essential nature appears establish the elements of a syllogism for the essentialists, even though, as Chandrakirti holds, there is no intrinsic nature such as the essential character that appears, then how can one use an autonomous reason? For one would have already proven the absence of intrinsic nature to the essentialist while establishing the subject. Opponent. Let the essentialist opponents establish the subject, etc., as they may. It is not necessarily for the subject, etc., to be established as common in both, appearing in common to both the Madhyamikas and to them. Reply. But that is something that Baba Vega himself does not accept, nor is it correct for him to do so. For if he did, it would entail that all probative reasons and syllogisms are offered simply in terms of what the other party accepts, and that would make him a follower of the Prasangikas. There are Yogacara Svatantrika masters, such as Chenrezig, who assert that external objects do not exist conventionally. However, like those Chittamantrans who are Satyakara-vadan, they assert that blue and such conventionally exist in the substance of consciousness. Therefore, since the sensory consciousnesses to which blue, etc., appear to have a view of them, apprehending them as existing by way of their character, intrinsic character, Chenrezig and others do not consider the sensory consciousnesses mistaken in their view of blue itself. Let me see where we are here. Blue itself, 707. Perfect. Okay. When hidden objects such as the eye are posited as the subjects of a syllogism, perception cannot explicitly establish them. Still, if we work back to the fundamental establishing agent, we must arrive at a perception. This is a belief of all Buddhist philosophical schools. Why? Because inference is like a blind person who is guided by perception. So Chenrezig and his followers accept that, even in the case of the hidden things, the fundamental establishing agent is, in the end, perception. At that point, they believe that the fundamental perception is either a non-mistaken cognition of something else or a non-mistaken autocognition. Also, as I have already explained, they believe that an object that exists by way of its intrinsic character does not appear and must objectively exist as it appears. This being the case, there can be no non-mistaken perception that establishes anything as appearing in common to both to them and to Madhyamikas, who maintain that there is no essential or intrinsic nature. Even in the case of objects that cannot be traced back to perception, it is still possible to reply. The proponents of intrinsic nature claim that valid cognitions establish all objects, compounded and non-compounded. What do they mean by this? Is it necessary for those valid cognitions to establish objects as whose ontological nature is to exist objectively? If so, then since reason can refute them, they cannot be valid cognitions to establish their objects. Geshe Rinpoche. That's more than in Chua. That's more.
She Sumba de Tabayino, Tela, Hasheba, Hatara ranking with Ruby Rajinji, Tom Maton, Goani, Lula, Tuna to Ruby, Chijen, Roger, Tama maybe, Ranju, Taji, Chijen Zoji, Chichetam, Dale, Joa maybe. Dalai Joa maybe Chuni Dombe Shusang Ruja Maba Shibi Riba de Yubishir She Tenzi Jang Deniji Lula Tunado Trubi Ruje Jang Tama maybe Dama Ruba Jutu Nam Hasheba Jindo Shiba Shao der sisele de tabu tene de yinde kangi shir chiki tembi tendene tugaba de rani je lamba yino cheta yin shena nagi chichi nam cheba sheba jola soba te yoba kona yinde tata de yin sheba Sombi Shiro Kede Kante Dijin Shebe Chekedo Somba Tene Dijin de Pena Nyangalende Ba Sheshawa Shewa wo Sheshawa Yino Sheshawa Yinje Kubi Rujindala de Chuji Tensi Jang Tuan Deba Kanyin Dijin Shebe Kunzu Cheke Sombi Shiram Tuan Tambar Sombi Shir Kede Kunzu Tuan Rangla Tensi Tuan Marubi Shiro Shedam Tuan Tambar Druba Shawad Druba Sheba ni marubi shir tensi maruba tuen ni dang geyu tuen ni do shen de jun de bomba yin no gangi shir de dar de rani je tuen de tensi maruba ke lamba ti shir Ngabo tenzi na tenzi su kebi jesu baba tangi la tenzi la soba rang la ma rubi shir druba sheba tangi nabar zemba joro she somba ndi tuen la dawa tabi jesu ndamba doba da nare sa ne tuen damba sayi mayi de Juan Yimbi Shir Long Jino, She Tugabawa Le, Tugabawa Susu, Gubala, Tuantantu Juan Yimbi Shir, Shenguna, Rangi Marula, Kundu Juan Yimbi Shir, Shenguna, shigula ngobo mawala marubo te ta maruba ya majuna teni ji gune maruba la ta marubi chaba rangi kelamba dan gelo shi sala kaji는 중앙장 시구나 리시지 마루베 고바인노 시서를 ndanda yu 선지바네 치세지 공부 때마이신 그러면은 제바 마이베 로니가 신주로도 마이노 오나 제다 인하나 관계실 제게 냐비 던던네 데라니지 켈라바이노 시송베 제게 바네 마시비 추제마루비 추당 댄지랑 자와 송바 대인데 대담타도 존데 송베소 다다나 덴저데 추제다 댄지 마루비 모송 다보 대트마 추니니레 만달라 최비 녀비 댄지라 소반조나 마범하라 마루라 마트 녀비 다다도 조나네 라기 체메 droba 라주지 따나 추진라 소바 마루비 뭐도 시바네 제게 냐베 셰비도노 된다 유고네 마루바 조바 데 레넨지 제대로 켈라바 덤바네 제대로 대신시비 손비 셰발라 데니지 고네 다반제발라 서와이노 데이도네 대신시비 군도도 손비 셰르시 다수권 나도 손비 셰르시 다수 제 다바셰바 이 마이데 내가 숭아라바 따르 최진대주 가게장 쳐봐도 마제바 야구지 젠도나 쉬고지 고시고 가롱 찔라 마루바 조와 너바 젠도 댄세장 볼라소바랑 대단 대비레바 된다이 다추라 용소 조바 밴드단 데 트바 갈라시 대나 대진셰베 손비셰르 셰베 따지 된데 데니 강인셰 트바 임베 고조바 인나네 네 라니제 데다 만데베 랄로라 마루라 다다바 인나네 네제 다다도 데보 여바 메바 니가 줄레 저와 카베 네라 무루지 데니 간도야 메비 데데 네메데베 데세와 데 먹어서 달라 종아 임비 셔 셰고바네 신나 다수 급이 종한테 데니 가이 드나 하마다 너 이제 데니 진종아 강다수 그제 다수 그제 만나 숭아 때 마고하고 대들 데니 가이 되네 다다이나 라라 Madru yang Kunduba Yina Yenla Madru Che Cheta Mondo Jurunde Tada Mayina Chujen to Jabi Nagi Cheche Kundu to Membi Shir Shagu Tadagi Madruba Ju Shiro Wana Cheki Nyamba Te Lenenji Tala Deni Ji Taba Sheba Te Kelan Lu Chetara Yinhana Sheba Shade De Luben Ji Matu Shebe Nyaba Demba Dan Tribi Shebe Nyaba Te Gundu Ba Yinba La Gune Demba Nikan Yin Sheba Dan Teni Kanki Nyeba Yin Sheba Dan Ne Jido Rugube La Samba De Tar Tazu Gube Tunde Gundu Ba Dan Tunde Kanya Mayina Tade Madruba Juguba Dan Tazu Gube Tunde Madruba Dan Tribi Shibi Karungi Nyebi Tunde Mina Tazu Gube Tunde Madru Juten Tomba La De Rangi Ke Lamba She Somba Yinji Ngonzo Ke Lamba Na Meno Di Shir Ngobu Chujen Tensizo Goba Na She Ngobi Chu Miji Ka Ne Sonso Leben Le Denje Ne Rangi Gobi Tade Kajiki Ngonson Matu Ngonso Tang Kaji Ne Tatubi Ruji Ngonson Matu Wala Je Mejan Leben De Ne De Tengoba Yino De Yang Hatramba Tar Oma Bayina Shujen Ke Malamba Ke Lamba Membi Shir Rangi Chenrezig Rubi Dun Ke Lamba Maribi Ruje Do Kede Ngozon Lasu Be Shesu Chane Ransen Jiyu Tsema Meba Somba Naji Leben Le Denji Shun Zimba La Rubi Shiro Nyeba Rangi Ranlu La Musumba Ne Kede Yenji Jeba La Chujen Dan Tama Ruba La Soba Joba Na Rangi Jeba La Jundu Jo Mayinam Tena Yen La Go Majawo Nyana Yen La Junte Da Hunwa Ranju Jeba Ke Lambe Jong La Ko Jane Ranju Jeba Ke Malambe Da Meba Sonde Der Jeba Na Ne Joala Shaos Kalejun
Nipa. And Chishena Chua. That's that.
Ja.
Okay. 7-11. Yabudu Ganyan Sina Leu NGK.
Ja.
The Ranju Kelen, the Leu Sarpa Gutsoldu. Okay. So just give me 1 second here. All right, so up to 710. Where did we leave off?
262.
Okay.
Second one demonstrating method.
Okay. Let me go there. Okay. Demonstrating that the reason also is not established. Chandrakirti's clear words indicates this in the passage that states, the same method that was used to show the position is defective insofar as its basis is not established should be used to show the defect that the reason, because it exists, is not established. Previously, Chandrakirti explained that because there is no valid cognition that establishes a commonly appearing subject for the systems of both parties, the proponents and the proponents of emptiness of essential or intrinsic existence, the thesis or probundum, which combines the autonomous argument's subject, visible form, which is its predicate, is not produced from itself, also does not exist. On this account, the reason, because it exists, also is not established, for there is no valid cognition that can attest to its being established as appearing in common to both parties. You should understand this on the basis of what has been explained above. At this point, Clear Words states, this is so, for the logician Bhavavega himself accepts implicitly the points we have just made. How so? Another party offers him this proof. The causes that serve to bring about the internal sensory faculties and such are existence without qualification. This is the case because the Tathagata said they are, or for whatever the Tathagata has said is accurate, as in the case of his teaching that nirvana is peace. Bhavavega replies, what do you believe the import of the reason to be? It is that such causes exist because the Tathagata has said in terms of the conventional, or is it because he has said so in terms of the ultimate? If it is true because he said this in terms of the conventional, the import of the reason would not be established for you. If you take it that the Buddha made this statement in terms of the ultimate, since neither the probundum nor what proves it are established in terms of the ultimate, the reason would not be established and would be, in fact, contradict the thesis. This is how Bhavavega states the fault in that proof. Since it is through such considerations that he asserts that the reason is not established, the reason and so forth are not established for him in any argument that posits a reified thing as the reason. Hence, all probative arguments would fall apart. Some Tibetans who consider themselves followers of Chandrakirti interpret this passage in the following way. Bhavavega's Blaze of Reasons and others, Chandrashita texts put forward the following syllogism. Subject earth is not, the predicate is not ultimately of the nature of solidity. Reason, because it is an element. Example, like the wind. They say that Chandrakirti refutes this approach as follows. If you posit because it is an element ultimately as the reason, then it is not established for us. If you posit because it is an element conventionally as the reason, then it is not established for the opponent, the essentialist. If this argument does not induce you to accept that your own reason is not established, then you contradict your belief that a reason that is not established from either of those 2 points of view, conventionally and ultimately, must be a reason that is not established. And there are those who say that Bhavavega is refuted because when he states just being an element as the reason without any specification, reason knowledge does not establish it. But Chandrakirti's refutation of Bhavavega does not proceed in this way. This is not at all the purport of the clear words, nor does Bhavavega accept any such thing. Hence, these individuals misrepresent both systems. Well then, how is this passage to be interpreted? In the passage that states for this logician himself, accepts implicitly the points we have just made. The phrase, the points we have just made, refers to previously explained method for showing that the subject is not established, also to the application of the method to the reason, for the text states this is not immediately preceding is not the immediate in the immediately preceding passage. This being the case, it follows that the valid cognitions, such as perceptions that establish the subject and reason, are inevitably either mistaken or non-mistaken. If you can posit an object found by a mistaken consciousness as the reason or as an other part of the syllogism, then it will not be established for the essentialist. If you posit an object found by a non-mistaken consciousness in that role, our own valid cognition will not establish it. Therefore, autonomous reasons and subjects are not established. This is what we explained above, and it is the meaning of Chandrakirti's phrase, the points we have just made. Baba Vega himself asserts that this kind of analysis leads to positing that a syllogism's reason is not established. To show how Baba Vega asserts this, Chandrakirti cites Baba Vega's analysis in terms of the two truths, conventional and ultimate, of his opponent's reason, because the Tathagata said so. Contrary to the interpretations proposed above, that analysis is not at all meant as an analysis of whether the stated reason is because the Tathagata has said so conventionally, or because the Tathagata has said so ultimately. Why, as explained above, it is Baba Vega's position that you must posit the subject without qualifying it as either real or unreal. Just as Baba Vega accepts that the subjects in which qualification would not be established for one or the other of the parties, he likewise accepts that such is the case for the reason and example and so forth. Therefore, if Baba Vega had faulted the essentialist reason by applying qualifications such as the conventionally and ultimately, his argument would be a gross self-contradiction. How could this consummate scholar make such an error? Therefore, the correct interpretation of Baba Vega's argument is as follows. Which of the two truths is the referent of the reason? Because the Tathagata said so, if it is the conventional one, it is not established for you, the essentialist, since you do not accept that the reason refers to a conventional object. And if it is the ultimate, it is not established for me, since I refute the ultimate production of an effect from a cause that is existent, non-existent, or both, as well as production that is causeless. Since neither party accepts that there is an object that neither of the two truths, Since neither party accepts that there is an object that is neither of the two truths, it is not necessary for Baba Vega to clear that up. You may interpret Baba Vega's questions to his opponent as, when you say because it is an element, which of the two truths is the element that is posited as the reason, this interpretation is correct in that it is just like what we have explained above. However, if you claim that Baba Vega is asking in terms of which of the two truths ultimately or conventionally is the element stated as the reason, then you completely misunderstand the position of the opponent of the clear words, that is Baba Vega. If that is what Baba Vega meant, then what could he say to his opponent? Of the two truths, which is it? If the ultimate, then it is not established for us, and yet if conventional is not established for the other party. If it were possible to claim that Baba Vega's analysis refers to things existing ultimately and conventionally, then, since the internal sensory sources that he posits as the subject in his syllogism, refuting ultimate production, exist conventionally, that subject would not be established for those essentialist proponents. Well then, how can Chandrakirti claim that Baba Vega accepts the points we have just made, though through his use of the two truths to analyze the reason given by the essentialist? I shall explain. Here Chandrakirti is of the opinion that what is found by a non-mistaken consciousness is the ultimate, and what is found by a mistaken consciousness is the conventional. This being the case, the question, which of the two truths is it, is conceived of a question regarding which of the two consciousnesses it is that finds the reason. It has to be one of these two options. For if the object stated a reason is neither the conventional nor the ultimate, then that reason cannot be established. Also, if the object stated as a reason is not an object found by neither a non-mistaken or mistaken consciousness, then the object stated as a reason cannot be established, in that the reasons are parallel. Chandrakirti states that Baba Vega himself accepts this, that Baba Vega himself accepts that his reason, because of existing, is not established, but he does not say that Baba Vega accepts this explicitly. That is why Chandrakirti in his clear words specifies reified thing when he states in an argument that posits a reified thing as reason. The Master Baba Vega believes that of the reasons he posits, some are directly established by non-mistaken perception, while others are not. But are proofs that finally derive from non-mistaken perception. The Master Chandrakirti refutes this to prove that it is incorrect to accept objects that exist by way of their own intrinsic character. The earlier citation from the clear words, Madhyamikas do not accept others' positions. Quotes, passages such as the refutation of objections stanza that begins, if perception and so forth, by drawing from such citations the conclusion that there are no valid cognitions that perceive intrinsic character, Chandrakirti aims to prove this point to the partisans of Master Baba Vega's system. So Chandrakirti and Baba Vega are both Nalanda scholars, and they had a debate. They disagreed with each other. Chandrakirti, as a translator's note, holds the ultimately true view, holds the higher view, but he and Baba Vega went back and forth, and Baba Vega believed that Chandrakirti was stating a kind of a nihilistic view. Digson Rinpoche, Truadan Lenja. Okay, so now we're going to have some time for questions and answers to those questions. Yes. We'll do a few questions and then we'll conclude. Coleman.
So I just wanted to ask Rinpoche, is it fine when reciting mantras just to use the order that's in the blue page of the book?
Okay. Rinpoche, the kon nyamlen triwa. Kon the zonga dana, the zonga garyena yakshu, the ngatsu becha zonga, the tambo shachatupa, nipa the Guru Rinpoche. The Rimbo keo mare. The kontriwa. The tambo, nipa, sumba, jipa, the zonga dana, the Rimbo ke chempudu, shachatupa zonga tambo, the Guru Rinpoche nipa, Lama Tsongkhapa sumba, the tambo nipa sumba ke chempudu e, Garyena dikswe.
To Guru Bane Jinte Shumbares, Guru Bane Yoris, Yovanaires,
Yine,
Thomas Haji Pevores, then the Lumen Pevores, then the Jeremiah. What the Bane Jin Javres?
Yine Garishene, dene the Jambeyan, dene Droma, dene Nanjelma, dene Mila, dene Chenrezig, dene Dorje, Shana Dorje. The Rimbo ke Chempodu, Tambo Mila, dene Chenrezig. Lesso. So it is. It's good to recite the mantras that are on this page. So starting there, but the order in which they are on this page is in some cases an order. So if we look at the first three, we have first Buddha, then Padmasambhava came, and then Lama Tsongkhapa came. So there is an order that we see in the first three mantras that are on the page. And each of the mantras have various things that they help the practitioner abandon, because those deities have particular affinities. So you're able to get rid of abandonments, a variety of abandonments, by doing a variety of mantra recitation. So, but the order here isn't important. It's just the matter of doing the mantras. The Drewa Yuna, the Dupa Yuna, the Zonga Chi, the Wang Yuna, Zonga Chi, Kona, the Nyamlen Che Yapudue. Gangisena, the Chikshena, the Zonga Ju Yure. Yeah, Chikshena Kon Wang Chik Yure. The Kanga Dang, the Wang Yuna Dang Moa, Gariyakshu. Okay. And it doesn't, I was asking if you say there's 10 mantras here and you have an initiation for one and not the others. Rinpoche said that it doesn't matter in this particular case. Just recite whatever you feel connected to, but by doing all of them, you have more of abandoning factors being presented.
Right. It's like different, yeah, I understand. So for example, I just wouldn't choose one mantra and just focus on that one. I should include all of them in order to abandon multiple tendencies.
Konchiwa the Gari Yakshu Kongichiwa, the Zonga Chik Tse chik lobjung she the hlai gom la chik gom the yakshu kanga lobjung she yakshu.
다 수준 되봐.
Less so.
체험만
It's really the individuals. There isn't an answer that can be given to everyone. In that case, there are some who would choose one root deity and use that mantra and only the rest of their life recite that mantra and focus on that deity. Then there are others who it's beneficial to have a variety of them. So it really depends on the individual, Rinpoche is saying. Because just as a translator's note, a lot of the Tantra stuff that we're doing, we're not capable of really doing because we don't have bodhicitta yet. We aren't bodhisattvas. Tantra is a practice that's the resultant vehicle that is a result of the perfection of wisdom practices, in a sense. It's resultant because you're using the result as the path, but it's also resultant because it is dependent upon these prior practices. So it's arguable, one could argue that even if everyone in this room has attended every single initiation that there ever was, if there's no one in this room that's a bodhisattva, there's no one in this room that's really even entered a mandala. So that means that we've got the imprints, we're playing with this so that in the future, when we are bodhisattvas, or I can say when I'm a bodhisattva, everyone here may be a bodhisattva but me, I don't know. But in the future, when I am a bodhisattva, I will have these imprints connected to these different mantras so that I'll be able to quickly be connected to them without having to really search very hard, because today I recited the mantras before I was a bodhisattva. So it left imprints, so when I am, it's that much quicker for it to occur.
That's where my question / anxiety was, because if you want to establish connections, the more you practice, the more likely chance you'll have more connections. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So if someone in here is already a bodhisattva, then the information that they're going to be given, or the advice that a bodhisattva would be given, is different advice than someone like myself would be given. So someone like myself maybe needs to just connect to all the mantras.
Right.
I'm nowhere near ready to practice.
Yeah.
I just need to connect. So my teacher might say, just do all the mantras. Do as many different kinds of mantras as you can, over and over and over and over again. Even if you don't know the meaning, because that creates karmic connection.
Okay.
Everybody's different.
So I could just pick my favorite ones. Maybe.
Rinpoche said, he just said, read them in the order. It's good because it abandons a variety of things.
Okay.
That was his initial answer.
Okay.
But then when you ask more detailed, just focusing on one, and I asked him more detailed,
Also
that's when he
possible.
said it's an individual's.
I think you actually told the story once of this old guy that was meditating on an island or something, and he was saying the mantra wrong, but then he told someone that, and he was like, oh, you're still getting the merit even from... I don't know, you told me that story.
It's kind of like that. Yeah, there's a story of a man who was reciting a mantra. Well, there's a couple different stories. There's one story of a man who was reciting the mantra incorrectly, but because of his faith, he was getting the right karma. There's another of a man who was reciting the white umbrella deity's mantra, and so much that he had formed an umbrella over the top of his head. And then someone came to him and told him that he was doing it wrong. And then when he started to do it right, the umbrella disappeared because his faith wasn't there.
Okay, thank you.
So, doing it right means doing it with faith. Oh, there's two mics. Okay, then 1, 2. Yep.
So, I've tried watching a couple of videos on the Tibetan logic, Tibetan syllogism stuff, and I'm sort of having a little bit of trouble with this reverse pervasion. I think it doesn't help that the people who do it don't have translators, so they're Tibetans who don't have... And
reverse pervasion, this is really complicated stuff. That's why we're doing just the transmission of it. Without studying debate extensively, like we could do a whole class on reverse pervasion, and no one would understand any of it. But I'll try to help you with that question for sure. But it's complicated to me translating. So
Maybe I'm thinking. I thought it was the same. You talking about reverse pervasion, but the guys talk about that. Like you take a syllogism, like if there's smoke, then there is fire. Is when they like the forward pervasion would just be, if there's smoke, there's fire. Then the reverse pervasion is if there's no smoke, then there's no fire. I think, but that doesn't make sense for a lot of syllogisms, because if you say if it's raining, then there are clouds over our heads. That's true. There has to be clouds for it to be raining. But if you say it's not raining, then there are no clouds over our heads. That's not true. So, because it could just be a normal cloud.
That's not necessarily. That's not a pervasion. Then that's not a pervasion. Like, you know what I mean? Then that's not a correct pervasion. Like, it has to pervade. In order for it to be a correct pervasion, it has to reverse and forward pervade. So that means,
like, in order for the statement,
that's not a correct sign, basically.
That's not a correct,
because it's raining, there are clouds, so it's raining. That's not a correct sign, because there could be clouds and no rain. There could be rain without clouds. There could be all of that. So it's not. That's not a correct sign to use.
I mean, let's say though it's accurate to say, I am a man, therefore I am mortal. But it's not accurate to say, I'm not a man, therefore I'm not mortal. That doesn't
pervade it. All mortals aren't men. That's looking at it from the first part incorrectly. That's not a correct sign. Right. So you're not using something that's a correct sign. It has to pervade both ways. It has to be. Does that mean
that if I were like trying to argue with something and I said that I was immortal, that wouldn't be like if I were just trying to, like, in a debate of like a debate.
You're not immortal, so I don't.
Amortal.
Amortal. Yes.
Yeah, so if I was in a Tibetan debate at like one of the schools, in like Dharamsala or somewhere, and I said that I was immortal, would that not be considered a correct statement because it doesn't have the reverse pervasion then?
What do you mean? You are immortal. I think in order for it to prove something, you would say the subject you are amortal because you're impermanent.
All right. Yeah, so I couldn't just. All right, and then the reverse. So
if you have permanence, you don't have mortal.
Yeah. All right.
You know what I mean? So it's just saying that, like.
So anytime a statement. So anytime you do that contrapositive thing where you flip both sides of the statement, if it ends up being wrong, then in the Tibetan system of logic, that it's considered that the original statement, it does not have
the three.
The valid cognitive. I can't remember the word you guys. It's like
Rinpoche, the sum, the core sum, the kongichiwa, the kadok chuchen, the marpo chuchen, kadok yimbatel. Duteroa yembe chair. Then the sum garre.
Chujin.
Selwa dak. You make the corsum. Then I gotta find my logic book. What page is that on again? I'm gonna get
it's on 413, note number 473.
413. No, I need the Tibetan text, but where it is in the Tibetan. I need to read it to Rinpoche in Tibetan.
One of the footnotes.
Right, but that's I get it. 473. I need the original text part. If someone can find me that, then I can bring it back.
The original text.
What's that footnoting?
He just made like a real quick reference to the three criteria. It wasn't like
the
question
that.
Came more from the footnote.
Yeah, I understand that, but the Tibetans, there's no footnotes in the Tibetan, so I need to read the section to Rinpoche and then ask him to explain that section. You know what I mean? In order for him.
At the top, the very top, says cognitions that establish the three criteria. 259. I'm sorry, 259.
Okay. 703, 704.
The sentence actually starts at the bottom of 258 and then goes to the top of 259.
Right.
703.
So since there are no valid cognitions that establish the three criteria.
703.
Right at the last part of the last.
Ranshin Yobar Mawa
see what that's called. Smack in the middle between 73 and 74. No, it actually starts.
Ranchi Mawa de Khensur Gyalni Chuten Dan Dak Tsul Sum Chuten Dan Dak Tsul Sum.
You're saying for him to.
Valid cognition.
Jeff can find that, but he needs this.
The Tsul Sum Rinpoche. Tsul Sum.
다 주진스나 부나 다 주진스 주진로 되는 마다바스 주진 가르스나 셰바 임베지 오든 된다버 강가데
The let me look up something here. He's giving it in too basic a sense, so it's not going to satisfy. Reverse pervasion. I don't have my Signs and Reasoning book with me that has all this stuff, so just bear with me. Their function. Chuchen Dong Daki Tsusum Drupi Tsema Ranchin Gitseni Ngopi Ma Rinpoche, the Tsusum, the NGK, the Sum Mena, then the Dayan Da Yomare.
이거만
Then the Sum Mena. Then Tambo, the Da Yuna, the Kadok Yuna, Dutarua Yu. Dutarua Mena, Kadok Me. This Sum Gare. Chapcha Dang Jucha. Geshe Gutsu. The Chuchen Selwa Dak, the Yapo Yuna, Sumgu. Da Sumgu. Dayan Da Sumgu. The Korsungu. There. They don't agare. They don't. They chuchu jechu sun. They don't agare.
최진 세와 다송로
Less so.
어 최진스 다트 나 최진 최진으로 와다 다트 마다바르스 베스나 주생 가르스 셰바 임베시스 어떤 답은 말베
Yeah, he's just doing it basic. He's saying that there's a subject, a predicate, and a reason, and that the subject is, there's a statement about the subject that the reason has to always pervade. So the reason for giving, the reason has to prove the statement and always prove the statement. So in order for it to be a good reason, it has to always prove it. For instance, the subject yellow cloth, is yellow because it's suitable to be shown as hue. So that's not a correct sign. It is suitable to be shown as hue. It's a color, but all colors aren't yellow. So the reason that you've used, if you look at it forward, it doesn't work backwards because...
Sorry, so there's like a different kind of correct, like it doesn't mean just because a statement doesn't pass the 3 criteria doesn't mean that it's not a correct statement. So like,
you'd have to give me examples of it.
I mean, you just,
but that's
like
not
the
really
one I said, the one, if I am a man, then I am mortal, is a true statement. It passes the first 2 criteria, if I understand it correct, because it's related and it has the forward pervasion. I think, if I might not understand these all.
And the problem with that, like, I am a man because I'm mortal. Buddha Shakyamuni was a man and isn't mortal. So even that doesn't always match the muster. Like, you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like, so you have to look at, is the reason that you're giving always 100% true or not? And if it's not, then it's a weak reason.
I can't think of one off the top of my head, but I feel like there are things that are 100% true that are like statements that could be true 100% of the time, but don't pass that reverse pervasion. That, you know, I wish I could come up with an example off the top of my head right now.
Yeah, in order for something to pervade, it says that if A is there, B is there. If B is not there, A is not there. There's 8 doors of pervasion that you look at. If A is there, if it is A, it's B. If it's B, it's A. If you have A, you have B. If you have B, you have A. If you don't have A, you don't have B. If you don't have B, you don't have A. And anyway, there's
so
8
guess
of
like
those.
pervasion is just like a special like in order for something to be true, it doesn't have to pervade. But pervasion is like a special kind of truth.
It's defining.
It defines it. Yeah, it defines it. It qualifies it as something or as not something. Like how do you know that something is a definition of something? Like you have a definition and then you have a definiendum. So you couldn't say the definition of car is something that is sweet to eat, because something that is sweet to eat isn't car. That definition doesn't match that definiendum. So you have to find out which definition is the exact definition to meet that definiendum. And then that definition is what you're using as your basis for all of the rest of this. So you have to know what each thing is defined as, and then you use that definition to know what it would pervade or wouldn't pervade, or what pervades it and wouldn't pervade it. You know what I mean? Rinpoche's not going to go into, I've tried, and Geshe Lharampa even said the 3 words of the 3 types. He's not going to get into it today. I don't know why, but maybe another time, or if we have more of a class specifically about that, he would.
You did it. You did it. Remember we taped it?
Yeah.
It's on the. We've already put it. It's archived.
Is it?
Yeah, you did it.
With forward and reverse pervasion,
Absolutely everything.
though? Okay.
We explained it in every possible configuration, and then ended up with a rabbit hole. It's nothing.
Oh, I see. The 3
You did-
permutations and 4 permutations.
It's archived for posterity.
Okay. Stash?
You need it. It's on the. It's
Forward pervasion. This is driving me crazy.
Yeah. Jeff explained it all. We taped it. We taped it with nobody in the room.
website. Well, the problem is sometimes you have there's a bunch of stuff you haven't updated the website.
One day when there was no class, we recorded it.
He has a 10-minute video.
That's the one we're talking about.
But yeah, I watched
It's
that.
called
I was
what?
still confused.
It's called
after I watched
oh, no,
that.
it's called What Pervades What.
Yeah.
Watch it and say it. Just watch it.
Yeah, I've watched.
What pervades
That's what I was saying. I watched. it. I'm
Yeah,
still
we went over it
confused.
twice. Yeah, we actually did it, and we redid it again to make it even more transparent.
Fortunately,
It's
Stash?
It doesn't stop being.
Rinpoche, Jeff, for translating. In The Lamp for the Path to Enlightenment, stanza 54, it says, just as wisdom does not see an inherent nature and phenomena, having analyzed wisdom itself by reasoning, non-conceptually meditate on that. Can you explain how to non-conceptually meditate, please? It seems like it's...
Hold on. What stanza is it?
54.
Let me just get the text up. 54, just as wisdom does not see an inherent nature in phenomena. 64, 5, 6, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56. Rinpoche, Shanchup Landun. The Shera Gi Nichu Namgun, Gangi Rangshin Ma Tong Shing. Sherab Deni Zrikshepa Nanto Mepar Degom Ja. The Nampar Do Gom Kandre.
Denzi dala kwal ko
Lessa.
denzi mumba ina taban do so
Lessa.
the song there
Yene Kongi Triwa. The Medopa.
na do le
Dome Gom Kandre. Dome Gom.
도매 공서 대모 마루고 공하더라. 대모 마루고 공son 또야. 또봐 해봐서 공son 또 발고 그래. 돈이 공son 또봐.
So this non-conceptual meditation is a goal. And this is stating to meditate on the lack of inherent existence of phenomena and to get rid of the grasping at phenomena as being truly established or as being intrinsically existent. One does that over and over again until he or she has a direct, valid cognition of emptiness. And once that direct, valid cognition of emptiness takes place, at that point one is non-conceptually meditating on the lack of inherent nature of phenomena. So non-conceptual meditation is a result that occurs from conceptual meditation. The non-conceptuality occurs at the path of seeing, Rinpoche said. Anyone else? Oh, it's in here. I bet it is. Hold on. Let me see. Let's go. This has a good glossary. Well, maybe it doesn't. Okay. So if we don't have any more questions, we can maybe just move, do the concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. I want to find more information about this, but I just trying to see how, because I see that you're struggling with it and want to understand it. Unfortunately, it's like a lot of things that, it takes a lot of years. It's not just a simple explanation, but there should be something simpler than you have right now. And so let me just see here. I don't have the right books with me. Unfortunately, I don't think to be able to attend to this properly. But just give me one. It's not going to be in here. Rinpoche, the dase dang triwa the ke temple du the con the sem selpo shama son gangen sene the dayan da the cheran the sum so sum then tambo shutu donde garre dene ni da chu chen da chu chen mitapa yimba tal sheba yimbicher then the so then sheba yina mitapa yin chap j chap Ale, then the da dang chuchen. Then the da sheba yimbicher. Sheba yimbicher. Then the tambo. The dru shuchu. Then Then the sumba
soy kanzagi ta ma tishu la me ba ni da ne ba
Oh, if it's not there, it's not. Okay, so he was saying the subject sound is impermanent. So you have the subject is sound, impermanent is the thesis, and because of the subject sound is impermanent because of being a product, or because of being an arisal. So if you have the reverse pervasion is if there's not an arisal, then there's not a sound. You know what I mean? So if there's a sound, there's an arisal. If there's not an arisal, there's not a sound. So that would be the reverse. You know what I mean? So it's the subject and the sign connecting, not the predicate. So it's all about the subject and the sign of the subject. So I was just having Geshe La try to help me with it a little bit. So we have the three types of ways. Let me go back to that.
263.
I'm going back to the footnotes now.
Oh, okay.
472.
The subject, predicate, reason, and seed.
So tambo, so the presence of the reason in the subject, or it's bearing the subject, is the minor premise. So that's the minor premise is the first. So tambo the da chuchem mitapa yimbatel jewa yimbichir. So that would be the subject sound is impermanent because of it being produced. And then the second is if there is sound, there is impermanence. And then if there is not impermanence, I mean, if there is sound, there is arisal. If there's not an arisal, there's not any sound. So it has to meet all those criteria in order for it to be correct. It has to first be it has to be contained within the subject. If the subject is there, then the sign is there. If the sign's not there, the subject's not there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
More sense?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just as long as it makes a little more sense, I feel better. You know what I mean? I can't leave here without a little more sense. But if you get the book Signs and Reasoning, I'll bring it next week and show it to you. It'll help you a lot because it's got the actual text they use in the monastery in it. So you'll have the same material the kids are working with. But, you know, if you want to invest the time in it, it's going to take an investment of time in it. And that's just, if that's the area you want to invest in, it's just like you're building a tool. Are you going to use that tool is the thing. You know what I mean? Like, what tool is like for me, when I needed it because I went and debated monks, and like, I think it's the only way to really learn this stuff. It's the best way. So if like that's the end game, then that, or connecting to that, then that's a wonderful reason, because there's no better way to clearly understand the teachings than by use of debate. Because you can just see it, like, oh, is this really liberation? Well, liberation has these characteristics. You know what I mean? Is this meditation really single-pointed concentration? Well, when I've studied, it says single-pointed concentration doesn't have dullness, doesn't have sleepiness. I feel like I'm in a dream. So this is a sign that it's not single-pointed concentration. So if it's dreamlike, it's necessarily not single-pointed concentration. And if you have single-pointed concentration, you don't have any dreaminess. So that's when it becomes useful, all of this stuff, to figure out if you really are practicing correctly.
That sort of thing. It's like, because I studied a lot of philosophy when I was in college.
Yes.
Like I study the Buddhist stuff now. It feels like there's a big gap between the two. I also sort of feel like learning this stuff is like sort of a bridge between
The two.
Yeah, because I did a lot of like formal logic, and I could see like there's some similarity between this and like Western style formal logic. There's also like a lot of differences too. So I'm sort of that's why I'm just intrigued by it.
And just remember that the Eastern, they've never met. You know what I mean? They don't know each other, so that they don't have to, like, they don't necessarily have to have a connection. Like, you almost have to look at it like, this is how Buddhism built its system, and, like, learn its system's rules, and not look at the rules of another system, because those weren't around when Buddhism built this system, you know? So a lot of the comparative stuff becomes very difficult, because the frame of reference isn't always the same. Okay, concluding mandala offering and dedication prayer. Tu Chena Geshe La, the Pentogdu. Natsu Tu Chena Rinpoche. The fundamental ground is scented with incense and strewn with flowers, adorned with Mount Meru, the four continents, the sun, and the moon. I imagine this as a Buddha land and offer it. May all sentient beings enjoy this pure realm. I dedicate whatever virtues I have collected for the benefit of the teachings and of all sentient beings, and in particular for the essential teachings of Venerable Losang Drakpa to shine forever. I send forth this jeweled mandala to you, precious Guru. I dedicate all this virtue to emulate the knowledge of the hero Manjushri and likewise Samantabhadra as well. With whatever dedication is praised as supreme by all the conquerors who traverse the 3 times, I also dedicate all my roots of virtue for the sake of auspicious deeds. In that pure land surrounded by snowy mountains, you are the source of all benefit and happiness. All-powerful Avalokiteshvara Tenzin Gyatso, may you stay until samsara's end. I pray for the long life of the precious Khensur Wandak, upholder of scriptural and realizational doctrines, the spiritual friend who trained extensively in the 5 great philosophical texts with exceptional wisdom and perseverance. Suji Rinpoche Gutsi Shapi Denronang, Lamrim Chenmo Kanga Chironang, Lamrim Chenmo Kanga Chironang.